All right, thank you everyone for joining us. We're getting ready to start the neighborhood meeting for the Lux conditional use located off Olympic Place. Right now we have Randy DeVore, the contact for the developer. And certainly, Randy, if you'd like to provide a general overview, general narrative before we start the Q&A portion.
Could you repeat that?
Yeah, just give a general overview and a narrative of the project before we start the Q&A for any citizens that might have questions.
Okay. Well, the project consists of 3 buildings, 2 of which front on Olympic Place. They will have retail, commercial on the ground floor and apartments up above. And then there's the 3rd building is in the eastern portion of the property. It's up against the Portage Creek buffer tract that the city of Arlington owns, and the 3rd building abuts up against that. Do I need to say more?
How many units does this consist of, Randy?
I don't know an exact number on the commercial retail, but there's 132 residential units.
What's the overall height of this project and the building going to be?
The height of the buildings?
Yes.
I believe it's 45 feet is the maximum.
45 feet. Because I live behind in the Jensen Farm neighborhood, and I guess my concern is I moved to Arlington, years ago to enjoy not seeing apartment buildings and things of that nature, and now I'm going to look out my front room window every day and I'm going to see a building. That's my concern.
Well, I don't have exact heights on anything, but the Portage Creek tract that I think is between you and this project, the trees in there are pretty mature trees. I don't know that you'd be able to see over them and see the apartment.
I think you're correct during the spring and summer months, but during the fall and winter months, I think you're going to be able to see the top portion of it.
And that could be, it would depend on how far back you are, how far north of the buffer you are, how much you're going to see, and how many evergreen trees are in that buffer versus the deciduous.
I'm pretty much right behind the building closest to Portage Creek.
So you're really close then. Okay.
So the tallest point on the building is 53 feet. That's to the tower. Common roof line is 44, about 45 feet to the common roof line.
And that's the furthest west buildings.
That is the furthest west building, correct?
The building closest to the buffer is a story shorter than that.
Yeah, the building 2 is actually just a 3-story, the one adjacent to Portage Creek.
Looks like that's about 33 feet.
The next,
Scott, is that you?
are there any, do you have any idea?
Yeah,
Prospective,
yeah,
client?
it's me.
Do you have any numbers on the available commercial as part of the
Square
mixed use?
footage?
Yeah,
There's 14,500 square feet of commercial.
That's not counting the parking, correct, Randy?
Correct.
the open space, it looks like 19, almost 10,000 or 20,000 square feet, 19.9.
Is that about right, Randy?
That was the open space?
Yeah, it said open space provided was 19,900 square feet.
Correct.
And what was required by the 5% was 12,025, so you've exceeded that quite a bit.
Yeah, that's why I thought we had a lot of open space.
I like the courtyard, I like the way this laid out.
It turned out really good.
It did turn out good. But is that the color palette you're using, Scott?
Yeah, that's the intent.
When's the estimated start date of the project?
Well, as soon as we can get permits, I was thinking April, May. We're trying to get everything submitted prior to February 1, so get everything submitted for building permits in January. So April, May should be a reasonable time, I think.
So Scott, are these dual accesses into the commercial buildings from both the courtyard and the street?
Yes.
Okay.
So between the two west buildings, you know, there's the bridge that connects those two on the upper floors.
Right,
So you have a pass through there where people can park on the east side of the buildings and walk through that pass through under that bridge, or they can park on the north and the south and then come along the sidewalk and access in that way, or the commercial. So it just depends on how the businesses are laid out internally on whether they'll have a north, south, east, west entrance, main primary entrance. But it's commercial all the way around. And access is all the way around.
yeah, that's what. So then 17 understory parking stalls. Looks
Yes.
like.
Yes.
So the intent on that will be similar to what we did at Emery Lofts Phase 2, where we have the parking under the building in that building.
Yeah, no, I like it. It works out well. Nice large green space out here along the buffer for the residential building. Yeah, I think the layout works well. So in your water fountain, Scott, is this a water wall?
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking is basically kind of a water wall on both sides. So you'll see it on a drive-by, but you'll also see it on the inside.
Oh,
But it's also kind of a little bit of a screening for, you know, the patio area for, you know, we're trying to get a restaurant in there and possibly a deli in there. They can have some outside kind of patio seating and things like that. I don't know if we're gonna have the waterfall wall on both sides, but that's what I'm envisioning in my mind, but for sure on the patio side.
okay. Yeah, it's nice that everything's movable here so you can reconfigure it depending on the businesses.
Yeah, I'm envisioning maybe the southwest end there would be a great place for a restaurant. Would like to get a deli or something off next to the restaurant. I'm possibly thinking about moving my office over there into this building,
Oh, really?
but I'm just contemplating that. Haven't finalized it yet.
Your dog area is all completely fenced in.
Yeah, we have to allow emotional support animals now, so we have to start accommodating dogs.
Yeah, I think it lays out nice. I think it's a good looking project. Any other public comments? Well, I'm thinking with that, if there's no other public comments, we'll probably conclude the meeting.